Emperor Harsha or Harshavardhana was a Pashupati emperor who ruled northern India from 606 to 647 CE. He was the son of Prabhakaravardhana, who had defeated the Alshon Han invaders that invaded India after the fall of the Gupta Empire, and the younger brother of Rajivardhana, a king of Tanesar, present-day Haryana. At the height of Harsha's power, his realm covered much of northern and northwestern India, with the river Narmada as its southern boundary. He eventually made Kanyakabuja, present-day Kannivuj of Uttar Pradesh state, his imperial capital and reigned till 647 CE. Harsha was defeated by the Emperor Pulakeshi II of the Chalukya dynasty in the Battle of Narmada when he tried to expand his empire into the southern peninsula of India. The peace and prosperity that prevailed made his court a center of cosmopolitanism, attracting scholars, artists, and religious visitors from far and wide. The Chinese traveler Xuanzang visited the imperial court of Harsha and wrote a very favorable account of him, praising his justice and generosity. His biography, Harsha Charitra, has been written by the Sanskrit poet Banabhatta. Much of his information of Harsha's youth comes from the account of Banabhatta. Harsha was the second son of Prabhakaravardhana, king of Tanesar. After the downfall of the Gupta Empire in the middle of the 6th century, northern India was split into several independent kingdoms and feuding states. The northern and western regions of Indian subcontinent passed into the hands of dozen or more feudatory states. Prabhakaravardhana, the monarch of Sthanavesara, who belonged to the Vardhana family, obviously, extended his control over the neighboring state. Prabhakaravardhana was the first monarch of the Vardhana dynasty, with his capital at Sthanavesara. After Prabhakaravardhana's death in 605, his eldest son Rajivardhana ascended the throne. Harshavardhana was Rajivardhana's younger brother, after all. This period of kings from the same line has been referred to as the Vardhana dynasty in many publications and historical records. Harsha's sister Rajeshwari had been married to Maukhari monarch Granavarman. This king some years later had been defeated and killed by King Devagupta of Malwa, and after his death Rajeshwari had been captured and imprisoned by the victor. Harsha's brother Rajivardhana, then the king of Sthanavesara, could not accept this affront to his sister and his family, so he marched against Devagupta and defeated him. However, Shashanka, the king of Gauda in eastern Bengal, then entered Magadha as a friend of Rajivardhana, but was in secret alliance with the Malwa king. Accordingly, Shashanka treacherously murdered Rajivardhana in some game of trial. In the meantime, Rajeshwari escaped into the forest. On hearing about the murder of his brother, Harsha resolved at once to march against the treacherous king of Gauda. But this campaign remained inconclusive, and beyond a point he turned back. Harsha ascended the throne at the age of 16. His first responsibility was, of course, to rescue his sister and avenge the killing of his brother-in-law. He rescued his sister when she was about to immolate herself, and finally defeated the Gauda king. As northern India reverted to small republics and small monarchical states ruled by the Gupta rulers after the fall of the prior Gupta Empire, Harsha united the small republics from Punjab to central India, and their representative crowned him emperor at an assembly in April 606, giving him the title of Maharaja Janaraja. Harsha established an empire that brought all of the northern Indian republics under his rule. The peace and prosperity that prevailed made his court the center of cosmopolitanism. After all, as I said before, attracting various people from all over the world, including the Chinese traveler Xuanzang. Pulakeshi II repelled an invasion led by Harsha on the banks of Narmada in winter of 618 and 619. Pulakeshi then entered into a treaty with Harsha, with the Narmada river designed as the border between the Chalukya Empire and the Harsha Empire. During Harsha's reign, the Vardhana dynasty's geographical boundaries spread from north to south, from Nepal to Narmada River, and east to west from Assam to Gujarat. He had friendly relations with the king of Kamarupa, Bhaskaravarman, and sent his envoy to the court of the Tang Chinese emperor, formed friendly relations with them. Harsha established the empire's capital at Kanyakabuja. He used to spend a major part of his empire's income on the welfare of his subject. He used to donate his wealth after every 5 years of his rule. Like many other ancient Indian rulers, Harsha was eccentric in his religious views and practices. His seals describe his ancestors as worshippers of the Hindu sun god Surya, his elder brother as a Buddhist, and describe himself as a Shaivite Hindu. His land grant inscriptions describe him as a Parama Maheshwara Bhakt. He's basically a supreme devotee of Shiva. His court poet Bana also describe him as a Shaivite Hindu. Harsha's play Nagananda tells the story of Bodhisattva, and the inventory verse at the beginning of dedicated to Buddha, describing the act of vanquishing Mara. Shiva's consort Gauri also plays an important role in the play and raises the hero to life using her divine power. According to Chinese Buddhist traveler Shangzang, Harsha was a devout Buddhist. Shangzang states that Harsha banned animal slaughter for food and built monasteries at the place visited by Gautama Buddha. He erected several thousand 100 feet high stupas on the banks of the river Ganges or Ganga and built a well-maintained hospice for travelers and poor people on the highways across India. He organized an annual assembly of noble scholars and bestowed charitable alms on them. Every 5 years, he held a great assembly called Moksha. Shungsang also described a 21-day religious festival organized by Harsha in Kanyakubaja. During the festival, Harsha and his subordinates, kings, performed daily rituals before a life-size golden statue of Buddha. Rituals before the Buddha, and since Harsha's own records describe him as a Shaivite Hindu, his conversion to Buddhism would have happened, if at all, in later parts of his life. Even Shungsan state that Harsha patronized scholars of all religions, not just Buddhist monks. According to historians such as S.R. Goyal and S.V. Sohani, Harsha was personally a Shaivite Hindu, and his patronage to Buddhism misled Shungsan to portray him as a Buddhist. Harsha would die in 647 CE as replaced by a new king called Arnasava. Emperor Harsha and his empire is not well known among the Indian public or within the academic world itself. He and his empire is more or less transcended by empires like the Gupta Empire or the Ashoka Empire or the more recently built Mughal Empire. But I think it's good that we learn these much more lesser known and niche empires in Indian history. It's more than the Mughal Empire, it's more than the Gupta Empire. India has existed for a long time. Many empires existed there, and it's fun to learn it. I hope you had fun as well. Thank you.